Hello,
Hi, I'm Ariana. Nice to meet you.
Rihanna. Nice to meet you. I'm Shawnee.
Chani, nice to meet you. So excited for this. You were also in Ain't Too Proud, which I love. So
Right.
I'm so excited to get into this. I was actually listening to the Six soundtrack right before this as well. So I'm so excited.
Oh, yes.
So, how did you initially get into musical theater?
Oh my gosh. In in the beginning, no. So when I was a child, I did community theater, and it was kind of my mom put us in everything, literally. And I remember doing our community theater for some reason, did a production of Cats like six full times, and me and my sisters did Cats six full times. So that was when we were kids, and just doing it for fun. We were very active kids, and my mom was like, "Let's put you in everything, singing, dancing, acting." And we were like, "Oh, we can do it all in theater, so let's do it."
So you did mention singing, dancing, and acting. You're at least a triple threat. Which one would you say is your favorite?
Oh, favorite. Well, first and foremost, I'm a singer.
Mhm.
Um, my mom was a church musician, and we grew up singing gospel. And I say we because it was me and my sisters. We were like a little gospel group growing up, and singing is my first love. I'm a vocal coach now, so I get to teach other people how to sing and lift their voices and get really comfortable with doing that. Um, but I have grown to love telling stories too. It's crazy.
That's nice. So your queen is Aragon, and she's influenced by Beyonce and Shakira. What are some of your favorite Beyonce and Shakira songs?
Oh my gosh. Beyonce, oh, it's so hard to choose. She has a hit in every album, I tell you. Um, but mine goes back to like Destiny's Child, Beyonce, when they were doing, and this group kind of reminds me of those moments in the like 90s and 2000s where they had like Say My Name, and they're doing the little poses and pose and picture and all that stuff. Oh, it was so good, so good. So I love being in this girls group so we can kind of like harness that.
Yes. But for
Yeah.
you, Shani, what would you say are your kind of favorite influences if you had musical about yourself and they'll just be like, Shani's influences are?
That's right. Oh, I love this question. It would be, I mean, Beyonce is definitely a top runner, but number one for me is Selena Quintanilla. I love her, and not just for the like performer that she is, but for the heart and the spirit and the light that she brings. I fell in love with just like her journey, watching the Selena movie growing up, and I still follow all of her stuff, even though her story is so tragic, but she has this light in her that I feel like if I can carry that kind of light while I'm performing, then I'm doing my job. I just love it. Michael Jackson, the Jackson Five is all the Motown era is through my veins. Shaka Khan is a big one as well, her big old voice. I used to sing as a kid, and this is a fond memory of mine, but people used to go like this when I would sing because I only knew how to sing loud when I was a kid, and it would hurt my feelings. But because I had really big influences like Whitney Houston, Shaka Khan, Aretha Franklin, and those were like what I grew up with. So I didn't quite learn how to sing with range, dynamic range until later.
Out of your sisters, are you the middle sister?
I am. How can you tell?
I'm a middle child too, and supposedly we just have louder voices. So, like, I just knew immediately when they're
Okay, you
like,
caught the vibe.
yeah,
Okay.
I was like, oh, supposedly you speak loud because I'm like, I can't tell, but yes, I knew immediately.
So funny.
Yes. So, if you, let's say it was opposite day and you had to play another queen, who would you like to play?
Ooh. Um, well, because mine is up tempo, it's pretty fast and salsa-y. I would choose the exact opposite, which would be a Seymour. I also love singing ballads, and it's funny because my audition was Aragon Seymour, which are complete, I would say, opposite sides of the spectrum. Um, but yeah, it would be Seymour.
Interesting. Interesting. What is your favorite song to perform that isn't yours? Because you guys obviously are singing backup for the other songs as well. And also
Absolutely.
everyone sings House of Holborn and Ex-Wives. So like you're singing the whole time. So what's your favorite song to perform?
Yeah, we are. You know, my favorite song is actually, and it's one of those like in between songs. It's the one you've been waiting for. It's right after my song. And it's like, oh my gosh, there's like a ghost around the corner, and it's so eerie. And like, we're preparing for the reveal of Boleyn, and it's just so fun.
Yes. Speaking of that reveal, because that's actually the third lady in your like non-consensual threesome in your relationship, in all the drama that is in the six and everything Henry did, what is like the not so fun fact that you find the most interesting in the six and the drama of it all?
The not so fun fact to me is, it would be typical that a man would say that a woman was not attractive just to embarrass her and to like make an excuse for him not to marry her or whatever the case was. It's Cleves' story.
Mhm.
And it's just she has such swag, and we obviously see she's attractive, but it's the fact that Henry would even make up something so bizarre. That's my one.
So this musical is different from a lot of others because it's essentially kind of like a concert. How is that like for you compared to other musicals and other performances that you've done?
Um, it's different because, when we're acting, we normally have a fourth wall, which is basically, for those who don't know what a fourth wall is, we don't pay attention to the audience. The audience is not there. We're there to tell the story and to keep the story on the stage, and the audience is not involved at all. But with this one, the audience is a part of the story. And we're getting them hyped because it's a competition. We're wanting to know who's their favorite. So we often reach out and look to the audience for answers and cheers. And um, that's the main difference between this and other musicals that I've been in, which is really fun because it's actually because I've done the other so much. I get to explore the other side of me, which is this pop diva. I love pop music, have been singing it just as long as, if not longer than musical theater for sure. And I love entertaining an audience. So it's exactly what I want to do.
Yes. There
Yeah.
is also no intermission and it's 90 minutes. How do you kind of keep up that stamina?
Right. Stamina. This show was hard in regard to stamina. With my last show, I was in Titanic, and it was also a 90-minute show. So I'm a little spoiled. Two shows in a row. I don't know how I'll be able to do a longer show after this. Um, but this show is absolutely hard because with every other show, you normally have moments when you can go off stage
Mhm.
and drink water and kind of just like chill out a minute and wait for the next scene to happen. And it's kind of like it seems luxurious at this point because we don't get to leave the stage. We might go off for a quick second and drink a sip of water for like a second, but we immediately have to come back on. Building the stamina for the show was very rigorous. The creative team made sure that we worked out, and in the beginning of our rehearsals, they would lead a workout session to get us trained for this musical, for the stamina that was needed. And Ooh, I underestimated it a little bit. I've done a lot of hard things, but because we have these costumes, and mine specifically, I've heard it's like 12 to 14 pounds. And the boots that we have, the wig, the crowns, everything is heavier. So we had to train with like weighted vests for a while, but it's still it doesn't compare to the costume. The costume is very rigid and it creates this also adds to the creation of these queens because they have to be pulled up and their posture has to be a certain way. But to put it into now terms where we have to like dance and sing full force and back then they didn't have to do all of that. They could just sit pretty and rule their country and all of that stuff. We have to really dance in this show. And the stamina is crazy. I'm just now feeling like, oh, my costume feels okay.
And you have the lights too. Like
Oh, everything. It's
it's
hot
hard
up
to
there.
prepare for all of that, even with the weights and stuff, because then it's like, okay, lights and
Everything.
adrenaline, all of that.
Our in-ears, our in-ear monitors was a big thing to get used to, because normally for the live stage, for musical theater, you don't have in-ear monitors. This is the first show where I've had to use one, and that was a big thing to get used to. Yeah.
This show has such a huge fan base and following, and even fans of all ages, even young fans, will come cosplaying as the queens. Why do you think people are so connected to the show? And what is it like to kind of have that level of dedication and have to deliver in that kind of way? Because people have expectations, kind of more so than a lot of other shows.
It is, it is. Oh, but it's so great though, because um although we're telling a piece about some like a history piece,
Yeah.
people could think whatever they feel about history. Some people don't like it. Some people are like, I'm going to a show and learning about history. What? But it's totally not like that. And that's what catches people by surprise. It's also the message that we're telling and the way that we're doing it. We're singing songs as if we are pop icons.
Mhm.
And this show was very deliberate in their queen inspirations, is what they say, because since mine is like Beyonce and Shakira, another person's is like um, Miley Cyrus, that's Boleyn, and Celine Dion is Seymour's, and Adele, and they're iconic songs, so they're very recognizable. They're all original songs, which is also really cool. We're not taking songs from other places or um, singers, and it's a party. It's literally a party up there. Our costumes are well designed and everything is put into now. It's so modern and it's so catchy, and the queens look like everyday people. And I think that's really what attracts people to this show, is that no matter how many times you see it, no matter how many ways you see it, you'll never see it again the same way because of the people that they choose for it. And it's kind of bizarre because I've heard people ask some of the creative team, like, how did you think of this person, that this person was good for this role? Because they always try to choose someone with a different perspective, which I think is really important for theater and also everything these days, to have different perspectives from different races, different sizes, different genders, different all the things. So yeah,
Yes,
it's
I've
cool.
seen it twice and do have two completely different interpretations on it because it's two different casts. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I know you can only take so much on tour. What are like some of your tour essentials that you have to take?
Touring is hard. My tour essentials, let's see. It's hmm. Oh, my cooking wear. Because
Oh.
we don't know what our living situation is going to be in each city. Sometimes the hotels may not have a full kitchen.
Mhm.
Um, so I make sure I have my own pot, my own rice cooker, my own what is it called? air fryer. That's what it's
Mhm.
called. Those kinds of things where you're like, okay, I need to be able to make food on my own. Food is very hard to tell where you're going to be,
Mhm.
and each location is different. Right now, I'm in an Airbnb, so it's really cool that I can just like live my wildest cooking dreams and have a full kitchen, but it's not like that all the time.
Yes.
My cooking wear, and then I would say um, a mat, like a yoga mat. Also, because you don't know what the floors are going to be like in each dressing room that we have in each theater. Some theaters are really old. Some of them are more up to date or have carpet or have like a cleaner floor, but some places you just never know. And you want to have your own place to like stretch and move your body and warm up for the show. So a mat. Yeah.
Yes, yes. What's kind of your pre-show ritual and then your post-show ritual to kind of like turn down from all that energy because you do have to go to sleep.
Absolutely. Good question. I'm a big vocal nerd, so most of my pre-show rituals are vocal things. I do a lot of vocal warm-ups. My song it goes from low to high real quick, and I have to be able to warm up for that. And so I do a lot of vocal warm-ups and hydrating before the show. I'll do like a vocal nebulizer, um, and chew a piece of gum to make sure I'm very lubricated in my mouth, and because the stages can get dry. And I'll also do a full like body warm up as well. And then post show, I will definitely do a cool down with my voice, just like you would do for dance. Um, you would warm up and cool down your body for dance. I do that as well with my voice. Um, and taking off my makeup, that's definitely a must. And I have to do it before I get home so that I can go home, take a shower, and go to sleep.
Is there something that you like to do in each city that you visit when you have time to explore?
I just love cozy coffee shops,
Mm.
and I love to explore what's a cozy coffee shop in each city. Um, yeah, it brings me a lot of joy, just to like be in a nice place and maybe read a book and sit down and just kind of decompress and kind of try to live a normal life on tour, which is really hard. So a coffee shop is kind of feels like, oh, I'm doing normal things.
Mhm.
And that's the other thing on tour is just trying to do normal things that you would every day because you're living out here and each city is it kind of gets like, am I? Especially when you're traveling week to week, or some shows are like day to day, where you're very lucky if you're in a place for like a month. Um, so yeah, a cozy coffee shop.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I hope you're enjoying your time in Detroit and on tour. Congrats on this, and I can't wait to talk to you about other shows in your world premiere playing Selena. I'm just putting that out into existence.
Thank you.
Awesome. It is also great connecting with a fellow middle child.
Absolutely. You know what? You got on real fast. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Connect there. It was so nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. And I will talk to you soon. Thank
All
you.
right. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.